This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, 6 o'clock now on this Monday. I'm Ray Collins.
I'm Stephanie Roberts. Good to see everybody on a Monday morning, but it's hard to see a lot of people out there this morning. No thanks to the fog. Let's check in with First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi. And John, I'll tell you, I come through Manatee County. It got pretty thick in spots there.
Yeah, it does. It's below a quarter mile in some locations, and that definitely will slow your morning commute, especially in inland areas like Stephanie just mentioned, but also along coastal regions as well, especially in Gulf waters. So of importance to mariners in Gulf waters, and then mostly for inland folks as well. Although the coastal dense fog advisory has been extended to coastal Manatee County now. If you take a look at the visibilities, they are slowly but surely going down across the coastal regions. That area kind of highlighted there in orange, that is below quarter mile visibility. So again, it's moving from inland areas toward the coastline, and I think as we head into the next hour or so, most everybody will experience some patchy fog around. But good news is it burns off by 9 a.m. Currently, temperatures across the region in the upper 60s, and we'll top it out today in the mid 80s, well above average for this time of year. Not much in the way of a rainfall chance, though. Complete forecast coming up in a few.
All right, John, thank you. Only buildup right now in Manatee County is actually across the border in Sarasota County. You'll see 301 southbound after you get past University and head towards Sarasota. Otherwise, pretty clear in Manatee County. Taking a closer look now, you'll see the Bayfront along 41 from Osprey and Orange toward Ringling and Maine, a little busy there. Also, Bee Ridge in the eastbound lanes toward the interstate. South County mostly clear at 6:02 on your Monday morning.
Our top story this hour, mourners are gathering in rural Sutherland to pay tribute to the 26 people brutally shot and killed in Sutherland Springs during Sunday service.
Families who simply came to church, and they're shot and killed. ABC's Daniel Backus has the latest from Texas.
A small Texas town now mourning 26 of their neighbors, gunned down yesterday in the deadliest church shooting in modern U.S. history. It began shortly after 11:20 Sunday morning. A gunman walked into First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs, Texas, and opened fire on the congregation. The tragedy prompting a massive response from first responders as well as residents of this small town.
The second we knew what was going on, we just ran over there to help.
Officials say the suspected gunman, Devin Kelly, walked into the church with an AR-15 style weapon and started shooting. Kelly was in the Air Force but was convicted in 2012 of child abuse. He served 1 year before being released in 2013. His bad conduct discharge and conviction should have prevented him from passing the background check required to purchase the gun. The youngest victim, just 5 years old. The oldest, 72. Among the dead, the pastor's 14-year-old daughter, Annabelle Renee Pomeroy. Local resident Johnny Lagendorf said Kelly exchanged gunfire with another man as he left the church.
The gentleman with the rifle came to my truck as the shooter took off and said that we had to get him, and so that's what I did.
Both men chased the suspect as he left the scene. A short time later, Kelly crashed his car and was found dead from a gunshot wound.
At this time, we don't know if it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound or if he was shot by our local resident.
President Trump said mental health, not guns, is to blame for the church shooting massacre, calling Devin Kelly a very deranged individual. Danya Backus, ABC News, Sutherland Springs, Texas.
Happening in Florida today, Governor Scott will travel the state to discuss a proposed major tax cut for the next budget in Florida. Scott has cut taxes over 75 times in the past 7 years, saving nearly $8 billion for families and job creators in Florida. The governor will make his first stop in Fort Myers this morning. He then will speak in Sanford, Florida, and Central Florida, then Jacksonville later on this afternoon.
Those who still have not filed for disaster assistance following Hurricane Irma now have a little bit more time. The Federal Emergency Management Agency moved yesterday's original deadline to November 24th. Eligible applicants include government entities and certain private nonprofits. The money goes toward the cost for emergency response, debris removal, and repairs. To date, over 700,000 individual assistance applications have been approved by Florida's Department of Emergency Management, and the total funding approved over $890 million.
Even though the season might be over now, the Orlando City Soccer Club held one more game, and it was for charity. The team faced off against the Puerto Rico national team, with all proceeds going to aid victims of Hurricane Maria. The players' jerseys were auctioned off online to further help recovery efforts. Those in Puerto Rico are still without power or clean water. And for the record, Orlando won the game, final score 6-1. Caught on camera, the Coast Guard has rescued 4 people who were on a sinking boat off Sanibel Island. The passengers sent out a mayday call saying their 21-foot boat was taking on water 6 miles offshore. Thankfully, a Coast Guard boat reached them within an hour, rescuing the passengers and towing that small boat back to shore. Fortunately, no injuries reported.
Today is the voter registration deadline for the Sarasota County special primary election that's coming up next month. The special election will be held to fill the seat vacated by Alex Miller, the Republican House representative from Sarasota, who resigned last Friday. A special primary election for the seat will take place December 5th. The special final election will be February 13th. You can still apply online to register to vote, florida.gov, or through any driver's license or tax collector's office that issues Florida driver's licenses or IDs.
Sarasota County health experts report an increase in mosquito-borne disease activity in our area. Several sentinel chicken flocks have tested positive for West Nile virus. That means the risk of transmission to humans has increased. Sarasota County mosquito control and health officials will continue surveillance and prevention efforts, but advise people to protect themselves from mosquitoes and to get rid of standing water around the yards.
Small businesses stole the spotlight in Parrish over the weekend. The annual Small Business Expo was drawing crowds as vendors showed off what makes their businesses so unique. Every business at the expo runs right out of Parrish, and that's why organizers say it's so important to show them a little love.
Of having people out and know what you have to offer with all the development that's coming in. We've got houses, we've got a high school coming in, we now have a college coming in. The bridge just opened that links us to Lakewood Ranch. So we're trying to promote the businesses and give them a chance to shine.
All proceeds from the expo go to support the local nonprofit Anthony Fowler Foundation, which helps families who are dealing with unforeseen tragedies.
It was another strong turnout for the 19th annual Manatee County Stand Down over the weekend, where the community gives a helping hand to our local heroes. The event is designed to provide basic services to homeless veterans and others in need. Over 200 volunteers with organizations from around the Suncoast and hundreds utilized their help. Those who took part got a free meal thanks to the Salvation Army, also assistance from a mobile career center, dental care, a flu shot, and 40 people also got a free bicycle as well. We asked volunteers what the local community can do to assist struggling veterans.
Helping with employment, that's one of the biggest problems that we have is not enough jobs and not enough affordable housing. And what we're trying to do is work towards what we call functional zero. So the number of veterans will be down to at least the number of beds that we have available, and we're getting really close to that in this community.
Sarasota and Manatee County Transit Services waived the bus fares for those attending yesterday's event. And starting today, State College of Florida will celebrate their veteran and active duty students with tributes and giveaways. Today's events include a free breakfast and lunch starting at 10:30 at both the Sarasota and Manatee campuses. Veterans and active duty members will also even have a $25 gift card to the SCF store, free aid with VA benefits, and even a backup cell phone battery. This is part of a near week-long thank you to SCF students in the armed forces leading up to Veterans Day, which is on Saturday.
1,000 Manatee County kids in need will get a special gift for the holidays this year. It's all thanks to a big donation to the Lions Club of Bradenton from a nonprofit in Minnesota who sent 1,000 handmade toys. The toys will be distributed through social workers and school nurses in Manatee County next month. Members of the Lions Club next month are hoping these toys will put a smile on kids' faces.
They're all handmade, and I believe one of the toys has, it's a roadster, and has 42 parts. So it's wooden, handmade, 42 parts. These are tremendous toys. These actually are keepsake toys, so we hope the children enjoy them, but they can keep them for another generation too.
Minnesota's TLC Toys chose kids in Fort Myers, Naples, and Bradenton to receive the toys since our area was hit by Hurricane Irma.
The 30th annual Mayor's Feed the Hungry food drive kicks off today. The program has distributed over 200 tons of food over the years, along with $2 million in gift cards to hungry families across the Suncoast. Their food collection drive will last through the 17th. Food can be taken to numerous drop-off points, including all Sarasota Manatee County city halls and police stations. Other locations include at Smith Stadium and select Chase banks. For a full list of drop-off points, head over to mysuncoast.com. And lots of smiles and tears of joy at the Care to Try organization's inaugural race over the weekend. Able-bodied athletes and their wheelchair counterparts competed in a 5K race or a 1-mile dash on the streets of Lakewood Ranch. Hundreds took part in the fundraiser for the local organization that helps all athletes get involved in physical fitness.
Well, I think it's wonderful. I really do. I think the fact that you can get out here, I've been listening to every time they go out to a race, and I've been very proud of them, what they do, and the fact that they wanted me to join them is an awesome idea, and I've just had a great time today.
It was a great day. I had a chance to host the event, and I met young Drake Burns, a 13-year-old from Venice Middle School. He did the 5K all by himself, working hard, always had a smile on his face. I sought him out. He just looked like a nice kid, so I said, I'm going to send you a shout-out Monday morning on ABC 70.
What a great event.
Yeah, great
That's
thing.
wonderful. It's always great to see those athletes competing.
Yeah, caretotry.org is the name of the organization.
Neat.
Yes.
Can all learn from them.
Absolutely.
You're not kidding.
Some beautiful weather shaping up for us. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
Also, first alert traffic and the latest on the city of Sarasota working on a new master plan for their parks and recreational areas.
We'll talk about what residents are hoping to see in terms of improvements when we come back.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you have Medicare, I have 3 things you'll want to hear. There's an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana. It includes Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage, and it may save you money in so many ways. It's all in this book, and it's yours free just for calling. You'll see all the ways the plan might save you money, even on prescription drugs. In fact, last year, Humana Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan members saved an estimated $6,500 on average on their prescription costs. And you get all this coverage with an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. Even if you've looked at Humana before, you need to take another look at this plan. We'll send you the decision guide absolutely free, in a slightly smaller size, of course. Discover the all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan that could cut your costs and cover your prescriptions. Call 1-800-824-8241 or go to humanabigbook.com. The savings are too big to miss.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC 7 shows on your streaming device. Now, Now, your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, we've got temperature and dew point pretty close together, within a degree. 67-degree dew point and an air temperature of 68. With that close proximity of temperature to dew point, you get very high relative humidity. And during the overnight, with cooling going on, you get fog. And that's what we've got across the region right now. Some fog, dense in some locations below quarter-mile visibility, particularly in inland locations and along the coastline in Gulf waters. We will see a dense fog advisory until about 9 o'clock this morning, at which point a little bit of daytime heating will start to mix things up and the fog will begin to dissipate. Northeast wind comes in at about 6 right now. Across the region, 68 Wauchula, 67 Arcadia, 67 Myakka Parish, Bradenton at 66, so's Lakewood Ranch, 69 degrees at Longboat Key, Venice and Inglewood both at 68, and Northport at 67. So the satellite views show some pretty good coverage, particularly in inland areas of this fog this morning across the state. We are entering into that sort of fog season for us, and as we watch the water temperatures cool further, fog chances will become higher. Right now it's mainly radiational cooling that we're getting because of the clear skies that we had overnight allowed the temperatures to drop to the dew point value, creating that fog around. So we'll have to wait for those temperatures to start rising again to get rid of that fog. A frontal boundary stretching across parts of the deep south into the Ohio Valley. That'll be the focal point for the severe weather across the nation today, potentially, as well as some stronger thunderstorms as well. Areas through Washington, D.C. on up into New York, particularly in areas like Pittsburgh this morning, could see some airport delays, and then stretching down toward Atlanta, though as this front kind of sags south and stops, Atlanta Airport may see some low-hanging clouds, but it's unlikely they'll see any severe weather. So for us, all of our weather driven by that high-pressure ridge, a map that looks remarkably similar to where we left off on Friday, right? And what really we had all week long last week, we'll probably have most of the week again this week. That is a high-pressure ridge just to our west, providing us with a northeasterly wind flow, which is basically bringing in drier air aloft and reducing our rain chances to next to nothing. Sunny skies, warm afternoon, and a dry week ahead with daytime highs topping out in the mid-80s. That dry air again visible aloft by these tan colors across the state of Florida. So as long as we have that in place, you're just not going to see a lot of rainfall. Winds out of the northeast at about 10 to 15, light chop 2-foot seas, and the forecast calls for some pretty dry weather this work week and warmer than average temperatures as well. As we head into the weekend, a couple of fronts will move through, each giving a 20%, that's it, chance of rainfall, and neither of them will be too terribly strong, only lowering our temperatures a few degrees. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, John. Nice to see the sunshine today. As we head out on the roadways, though, John mentioned you will want to be careful of the fog. We're seeing increasing volume now, both directions. 301 around State Road 70 in Bradenton. I-75 in Manatee County is moving well. It's a quiet start to the morning in Sarasota. No problems across Fruitville, Bee Ridge, or Clark Roads. And moving down to the south, things are moving well in Nokomis and Venice and I-75 through Northport. It is 6:18, and a Gainesville-based consultant is being paid $140,000 by the city of Sarasota to create a master plan for the city's parks and rec areas.
And they are taking requests right now. The city leaders say they want to address issues in their 50 parks, and right now they're taking feedback for those who use the parks the most. Our Erica Jackson shares what improvements residents say they want to see, and then the city will cater to those requests.
Payne Park in downtown Sarasota features a children's play area, bike pathways, and picnic tables. But some locals believe that Payne and dozens of other parks in the city could use some improvements.
They're a very safe area for the kids. We like the location. There's a lot for them to do. They don't ever really seem to get bored coming back.
The Alfano family travels from Bradenton to Sarasota monthly to visit Payne Park. Anthony says he likes the enclosed play area for his kids, but wished it could be more adult-friendly.
Adding some maybe extra shade to the existing parks that are already here, especially since, 6 months of the year it's pretty hot.
A lot of what the residents are asking for are the really foundation and basic needs of our parks.
Sarasota's Park and Recreation Director Jerry Fogel doesn't mind the criticism. He's getting more feedback from park visitors through mail and online surveys. At an open house on Saturday, suggestions ranged from things like more movie nights, before and after school programs, and nature conservation in city parks.
Some of the things I've seen was expected because some of our parks haven't had the attention it needs in many, many years.
David Barth, principal of Gainesville-based Barth Associates, says it can be challenging to get families to spend time outside, which is why the city is considering adding Wi-Fi so parks can compete.
There's so many other things to do, so many other distractions, that to get people to stay in parks, they just need more things to.
Fogel and Barth will take the results of these surveys to city commissioners, then establish costs and take the best approach to make improvements while meeting the city's needs.
It actually not only helps us with a roadmap, but it also assists us with the process as to how we can get there.
City leaders hope to have the master plan complete by summer 2018 so we can get started on making some of those improvements. Reporting in downtown Sarasota, Erica Jackson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
And speaking of parks, families in Northport now have 4 brand new multi-purpose fields at their disposal. City officials are celebrating the completion of the fields at Butler Park with a ribbon-cutting ceremony this weekend. The move is part of the city's push to get people in the area to be more active. The multi-purpose fields will be used for football, lacrosse, soccer, field hockey, or many other sports, and they'll be available for public use when they're not being used by sports leagues. I don't know what I think about putting Wi-Fi in our Sarasota parks. Did you hear that?
Why?
Why Wi-Fi?
For kids to check their phones in the field?
Parents to ignore their kids? I don't know. Either way. No, be outside. Enjoy.
Yeah, good call. Until you're the one out there saying, hey, where's the Wi-Fi?
Yeah,
that's
true.
right. Still ahead, for the first time in 40 years, an American has won the New York City Marathon.
It was a very emotional victory, and we'll tell you why coming up.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
I hardly recognize Sarasota this morning.
Yes, we do have some thick fog there hanging over the city. This is actually being taken from the Ringling Bridge, looking back into downtown. And once you get into those interior areas, especially through Manatee County, visibility, according to meteorologist John Scalzi, less than a quarter mile. So careful out there on the roads this morning.
Yeah. Beautiful mountains are in the background.
Not exactly, but...
Make sure you check out our Facebook pages, Ray Collins, ABC7, John Scalzi as well. You've got some local content to share with you, so check it out and like the page when you get a chance.
It is 6:25, and it was an emotional victory for Shalane Flanagan as she crossed the finish line in the New York City Marathon.
Days after that terror attack in New York, and now for the first time in 40 years, an American has won the marathon in New York City. 40 years. ABC's Candace Gibson has details of her big win.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a finish line 4 decades in the making. Shalane Flanagan crossing the finish line, becoming the first American woman to win the New York City Marathon in 40 years. The 36-year-old runner racing into the record books with a time of 2 hours and 26 minutes and 53 seconds, beating the 3-time defending champion by a full minute and 1 second. Flanagan, overcome with emotion, crossing the finish line before wrapping herself in the American flag, the now champion saying winning that medal was a dream come true and that she tried very hard to savor the moment.
This is a moment that I've dreamed of since I was a little girl.
And coming up at 7 o'clock, we'll have Flanagan live in Times Square telling us all about that historic moment with your GMA First Look. I'm Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
There's only one national orange juice brand that only uses 100% American oranges. Simply Orange and Tropicana ship in juice from overseas. Only Florida's Natural grows all of our oranges in Florida. Great taste, naturally.
Feel that tingle of a cold sore coming on? Only Abreva can heal it in as little as 2.5 days when used at the first sign. Abreva starts to work immediately to block the virus and protect healthy cells. Abreva acts on it so you can too.
Exercise doesn't have to be boring. Hi, I'm Lori Grenier from Shark Tank. In less than a year, the Simply Fit board has become one of America's favorite ways to exercise, with over 3 million people getting Simply Fit. Why? Because it's fun. And because it works. People everywhere are twisting away calories while they watch TV and listen to music. The Simply Fit board gets 4- and 5-star reviews everywhere. So jump on board and get fit. One twist at a time. Get your Simply Fit board today.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
This is an important medical announcement. Talcum powder products from some of the best-known brands have been linked to ovarian cancer. Any woman who has used a talcum powder product and has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that women with long-term use of talcum powder, including baby powder for feminine hygiene, can increase the risk of contracting ovarian cancer. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to women who should have been warned about the risks of ovarian cancer with long-term use of talcum powder. Call the Talcum Powder Hotline. If you or a loved one used talcum powder and were diagnosed or died from ovarian cancer, you must call now.
Call 800-570-7599, 800-570-7599.
So, how many of us feel completely confident about our financial future? Let's hear some specifics. Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to be a burden to my kids. When my husband died, it took almost all of our savings to give him a proper funeral. I honestly don't know if there's enough to bury me, let alone cover expenses should something happen.
Okay, let's talk solutions. One thing you may want to get in place is a guaranteed whole life insurance policy from United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, which is a Mutual of Omaha company. This is affordable coverage, which provides a cash payment which can cover funeral expenses, bills, and other financial needs. Most payments are on their way within 24 hours. Yes, sir.
I need medical exams, things like that.
No medical exams. If you're between the ages of 45 and 85, you can call this number or you can go online and apply for coverage up to $25,000. United of Omaha Guaranteed Whole Life Insurance. Call or go online now.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, President Trump continues his trip through Asia. We'll talk about what he had to say about North Korea and trade.
Two of the nation's largest gumbo limbo trees coming down today and tomorrow in Bradenton. We'll tell you why officials say they have no choice.
And hundreds of thousands of dollars raised over Sunday brunch. We'll show you which local campus had a very successful fundraiser this weekend. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios. This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back at 6:31 on a Monday morning. I'm Stephanie Roberts.
And I'm Ray Collins. Glad you're with us after another beautiful day as far as this stretch of weather this time of year. November, beautiful, John. Keep it coming for us, would you please?
It's going to be warmer than average, though, for the next several days, but then by the end of the week, I think we'll return to more average temperatures in the low 80s. Right now, though, we do have an issue with a little bit of patchy fog across the region. Could lower your visibility to a quarter mile or even less in some locations, and that, particularly in inland locations, that could slow your morning commute, so allow some extra time if you're commuting from inland areas. Plus, along our marine waters, we'll continue to watch the potential for some fog that might linger past 9 o'clock, and that could, again, reduce some of your visibilities if you're boating. We're looking in Manatee County right now with about 1 3/4 mile visibility at the airport, and then in Venice, 9 mile. But Punta Gorda, look, quarter mile. So that's the kind of situation that we have. It comes up on you quickly and in some places limits visibility very fast. Across the region, temperatures in the upper 60s. We'll top it out today near the mid 80s, about 4 or 5 degrees above our average for this time of year. But no rain in the forecast today. We'll talk about a couple of fronts headed our way coming up in just a few.
All right, John, talk to you soon. Checking in first alert traffic, first off in Manatee County. You'll see some buildups on 301 in both directions around State Road 70. Otherwise, nothing too much to speak of. 41 southbound around University. Be aware of that at front of the museum. 301 and 41, some congestion there this early in the day. Also 41 northbound around Proctor. Be aware of that. Let's check our final map now in the South County region. All clear at 6:33 on your Monday morning.
Taking a look at our top story this half hour, trade, Texas, and North Korea. Those are three of the main topics that President Trump is addressing during his visit in Japan.
Karen Travers has more from Tokyo as the president continues his trip in Asia today.
President Trump's first comments today in Tokyo, a somber response to the news of another mass shooting.
This act of evil occurred as the victims and their families were in their place of sacred worship. We cannot put into words the pain and grief we all feel.
Unlike his immediate reaction to the terror attack in New York last week, there was no talk about policy changes or politics. Instead, the president issuing a call for unity.
But in dark times, and these are dark times, such as these, Americans do what they do best. We pull together.
The rest of the president's day, a mix of pomp and circumstance and diplomacy. A state call with the Emperor of Japan at the Imperial Palace. And a red carpet welcome at another palace, where President Trump and Prime Minister Abe spent the day in meetings. Before they got down to business, the two leaders fed some fish in a koi pond, at first sprinkling in a few spoonfuls, President Trump eventually giving up and dumping the rest of the box into the water. The president later meeting with families of Japanese citizens kidnapped by North Korea, calling it a tremendous disgrace.
We will work with Prime Minister Abe on trying to get them back to their loved ones.
At a press conference later with the Japanese Prime Minister, President Trump called the Texas church shooter a very deranged individual. He says he believes the issue here is mental health and not guns. And right now, it's too soon to talk about gun policies. Karen Travers, ABC News, traveling with the president in Tokyo.
Could Bernie Sanders have beaten Hillary Clinton in the Democratic presidential race last year? That's been a topic of discussion after that claim was made by former DNC chairwoman Donna Brazile. She said that Clinton effectively took over the Democratic National Committee early in the primaries. But a CNN analysis suggests that Sanders had little chance of winning from the start. Clinton won 3 of the first 4 contests and had a massive lead in the superdelegates. Brazile also added that she believes nothing illegal was done by the Clinton campaign.
Former Congressman Anthony Weiner will start his sentence today in jail. He's facing 21 months behind bars after pleading guilty to sending obscene texts to a 15-year-old girl. He is the estranged husband of Hillary Clinton's aide, Huma Abedin, who filed for divorce in May. Weiner is required to register as a sex offender and receive treatment afterwards. His sentence also includes 3 years of supervised release.
GOP Senator Rand Paul has more serious injuries than previously thought after being assaulted at his home by a neighbor last Friday. A senior advisor to the Senate says Paul has 5 broken ribs and lung injuries, and it is unclear when he will be able to return to work. According to a police statement, Paul told officers the suspect, Renee Boucher, tackled him from behind, forcing him to the ground. The FBI and U.S. Capitol Police are investigating, as assaulting a member of Congress is a federal crime. Remember, for updates on developing stories, either national or local breaking news, you'll want to download the latest updated version of our news app. iPhone, iPad users, go to the App Store and re-download the app. It has been upgraded. You want to search for WWSB or my Suncoast. Android users get that update automatically.
In Bradenton, 2 gumbo limbo trees, I love saying that, will be taken down today and tomorrow after being damaged during Hurricane Irma. One of the trees is the current American Forest's champion tree, meaning it's the largest of its species in the country. It's coming down, though. Visitor safety was the main reason that park officials wish to remove the 2 trees. The area around the trees has been roped off, as you see, and visitors are asked to respect the closure for their own safety, since the trees could fall at any moment. The Park Visitor Center and surrounding area will be closed throughout the tree removal, which should last until about 5 o'clock tomorrow. Now, if you want to help preserve the legacy of the gumbo limbo tree, you can claim your own by cutting off part of the tree. Rangers will give out disease-free limbs Wednesday at noon at no cost.
Well, you can leave the modern world behind and take yourself to a different time. The Sarasota Medieval Fair is back. Families took in the sights and sounds of the fair in its opening weekend, from kings to queens and knights and wenches. The event doesn't leave much to the imagination. Among the fair's shows are the jousting matches, very popular. ABC 7 spoke with some of the full contact jousters who told us why this sport is so appealing to them and the crowds.
Well, you never know every time you come down the list what the hit's going to be like, or the reaction of the horse or the lance even. So it's just the variable for me. And any person, it doesn't matter, you know, I'm the newest guy. But any person, whether they've been doing it for 20 years or 6 months, you can come off your horse. So, you know, everybody has a chance to win.
And that medieval fair continues for the next 2 weekends right here on the Suncoast.
Some of the best college tennis players in the country were in Lakewood Ranch this past weekend for a special tournament. The annual Dick Vitale Classic is the only clay tournament of its kind in the college schedule. The event raises money for cancer research through the V Foundation. In fact, over the past 8 years, $400,000 has been raised. Now, the teams say it's a nice break from the normal college tournament schedule.
This is the only tournament throughout the year that we play on clay, so this is a real reward for them. Many of them grow up on the clay, and so for them to come back after playing so much hard court during the year, this is a real reward.
We get this in college tennis, a lot of fans and stuff, but you don't get it a lot of times at just like a college tournament, so it's definitely a special event, and you know, I hope that it does well in the future as well.
We do too. The University of Florida won in both women's and men's singles, while UCF and Michigan won women's and men's doubles, respectively. During an online selection show yesterday, the Florida High School Athletic Association announced the official brackets for the 2017 high school football playoffs. This is the first time teams were chosen through this new point system. 7 area teams have made it to the playoffs all Friday at 7:30. Here's the schedule. Riverview, Venice at home, Manatee, Braden River, and Palmetto on the road. Also Port Charlotte and Booker on the road as 7th and 8th seeds in their respective regions.
The University of Florida Sarasota Manatee campus will be giving out more than $300,000 worth of scholarships thanks to nearly 900 donors from a big Sunday event. The annual Brunch on the Bay fundraiser took place Sunday on campus. It is the 24th year for the event. 1,500 USF Sarasota Manatee students have received scholarships from money raised at past events, all totaling more than $1 million.
My scholarships have helped me greatly, not just because they helped fund my school, but because they were funding my school. I didn't have to work as many hours at my job to cover the costs of my education.
USF Sarasota Manatee is also celebrating a record of $475 million in grants and contracts for this year. It's so great to see the support for that school right here on the Suncoast.
Yes, they could have asked for a nicer morning for a brunch on the bay either.
Gorgeous.
Well,
yeah, absolutely beautiful. You know, we have so much to be thankful for here on the Suncoast because of the philanthropy of our
Very
area.
generous.
It's amazing. Nice weather after we get rid of some of this fog around the region. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
All right, also we will check your first alert traffic one more time. And recent EpiPen failures have customers scrambling to find an alternative.
We'll tell you why research suggests a big rise in EpiPen complaints when we come back.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and 3-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-307-2040 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you the #1 mistakes retirees are making with their investments today, and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-307-2040 to have your free information kit rushed to your door. Again, that's 800-307-2040.
Attention travelers, next Tuesday a major hurricane will cause complete chaos throughout the city. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Dense fog advisory up for the area. A live shot from the Ringling Causeway shows some of that kind of haze and fog and mist that's around the area right now. Visibility being reduced in some locations to about a quarter mile, so that dense fog advisory will be up until about 9 o'clock this morning. Most locations shouldn't be a big problem with the morning commute, but in a few locations, it will definitely cause you to ease up, especially until we get some sunlight up here and start to mix this fog away. 67 degrees, the current air temperature. We have a dew point value coming in at the same. So temperature and dew point, 100% match, 100% relative humidity. And consequently, some of that low-hanging cloud around, which we call fog, is across the region right now. Northeast wind coming in at about 7. So we have 68 degrees in Wauchula, 67 Arcadia, Myakka at 66, Parrish at 66, so is Bradenton. Longboat Key coming in at 69, 68 in Venice and Inglewood, and 67 degrees for you folks in Northport. Most of the heavy fog is located in inland areas, though it has moved closer to the coastline. So now we have the majority of the region under the dense fog advisory. Doesn't mean that every location is going to get dense fog, but it does mean that that fog ebbing and flowing will give you a potential for running into some visibility reducing fog in pretty short order if you're not careful. So just lighten up on the gas pedal a little bit. A line of strong storms developing along a frontal boundary located just to our north. If you are traveling today from Washington, really all the way down into areas of Kentucky and Tennessee, you may encounter some fairly heavy weather that could lead to some airport delays. This front, though, is not going to be moving all that much. It basically stays stationary for the next probably 4 days or so until it gets another kicker to actually move through here. High pressure, the dominant weather feature for us, brings us sunny skies after we burn off the fog. A warm afternoon with daytime high temperatures running well above average for this time of year, coming in the mid-80s, and then a dry weekend ahead, except toward the end of the week when we will factor in a couple of shower chances. Talk about that in a second. Dry air across the region indicated here by the tan colors. That means that with that dry air aloft, as soon as the fog burns off, we should have a pretty nice sky. Nice day for boating. Northeast wind at about 10 to 15. We'll be looking for light chop, 2-foot seas. And over the course of the week ahead, warmer than average temperatures till we get to those two fronts I just spoke of, Friday and Sunday, both with a 20% chance of showers, but there'll be minor fronts and only lower our temperatures a few degrees. Back to you.
All right, looks good. And looking at the morning commute, things are looking good there as well, although we do have some fog, as John mentioned, to be concerned about. No backups. 301, the only road with any kind of traffic southbound right now. I-75 looks great into Sarasota County. Fruitville, Bee Ridge, and Clark Roads also moving well. And it looks like a quiet morning. Folks, a little slow to get moving, it looks like, on a Monday, as we do not have any problems down through Nokomis, Venice, and Northport. In this morning's Health Smart, complaints of reported EpiPen failures has Mylan, the company that sells them, on the defensive. A new report shows a big rise in complaints about the device not working in life-threatening emergencies. According to Bloomberg, 228 people have reported failures of the EpiPen this year, which injects a drug to stop severe allergic reactions. Those failures are up from the amount in 2012 when just 4 were reported. 7 deaths and 35 hospitalizations have been linked to EpiPen failures, but the FDA cautions there's no certainty that it was due to that product. New research suggests fiber may help colon cancer survivors live longer. Colon cancer is the 3rd most common cancer in the U.S. Researchers studied food questionnaires and medical records for more than 1,500 people who were treated for early-stage colon cancer, and results show that eating more fiber-rich foods is associated with a 20% reduction in risk of dying from colon cancer and a 15% lower risk of dying from any other cause. The study suggests high-fiber cereals and whole grains have the greatest positive impact.
Entertainment news now. The weekend's top movie helped Marvel reach a new milestone. Rick Damangella has that and more in your Hollywood Minute.
Where have you been? Everybody thought you were dead. There's so much has happened since I last saw you.
Thor propels Marvel to a new milestone. Screen Rant reports the 17 films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe combined have now grossed over $5 billion at the domestic box office, helped by the over $121 million debut of Thor Ragnarok.
I spent the day in bed. It's a consolation.
Music news, the Hollywood Bowl is going vegetarian. The LA Weekly reports the concert venue will be offering a meat-free menu when singer Morrissey performs 2 shows there this week. A Hollywood Bowl press release stated it will be the first time it has offered a vegetarian menu. Morrissey, a well-known vegan, is touring in support of his forthcoming album, Low in High School.
Arthur Curry.
also known as protector of the oceans, the Aquaman.
Bruce Wayne is building a team in the first official clips released for Justice League. The scenes feature Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne meeting the Flash, played by Ezra Miller, and Aquaman, played by Jason Momoa. Justice League hits theaters November 17th. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Superheroes, a lot of big budgets, no quiet little stories anymore, it seems right now.
Bad Moms Christmas is out.
Oh, well,
I can't wait to see that.
You'll be first in line, won't you?
Girls' night.
So still had your top local news headlines, and a hero surprises his son.
We'll tell you how one father came home to give his son a senior night he will never forget. You won't want to miss this.
Take the trolley to Siesta Beach for the Crystal Classic Sand Sculpting Festival, November 10th through 13th. See master sand sculptors create works of art. It's family fun with hands-on kids activities, sand sculpting lessons, music, food, a party tent, and more. Visit SiestaKeyCrystalClassic.com.
If you're between 50 and 85 years old, call the number on your screen right now for free information on how to save your family thousands of dollars. We're Family Love Plans, and we've been helping families just like yours for over 30 years. The average funeral today can cost up to $10,000 or more, but the most you'll get from government benefits is just $255. How will your family pay the difference? At Family Love Plans, we can help you and your family. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam and your plan can't be canceled. Better still, your rate will never go up and your benefits will never go down. Get your free information about our senior plans. Just answer a few simple questions and receive approval right over the phone.
Call 1-800-707-3608. That's 1-800-707-3608.
If you or a loved one used a proton pump inhibitor, such as Nexium, Prilosec, or Prevacid, and then developed chronic kidney disease, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. A recent report released by the American Medical Association found that the use of proton pump inhibitors was associated with a significant increase in the risk of developing chronic kidney disease. Side effects associated with these medications include acute kidney injury, chronic kidney disease, dialysis treatment, kidney or renal failure, kidney transplant surgery, and even death. If you or a loved one used Nexium, Prilosec, or Prevacid and then developed chronic kidney disease, call right now. You may be owed significant compensation from the manufacturer. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-977-4346. Again, that's 1-800-977-4346.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
The ABC 7 First Alert Hurricane Guide. Download yours today.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On Group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these other injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On Group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-604-1698. That's 800-604-1698.
It's bigger and better. The Siesta Key Crystal Classic Sand Sculpting Festival, November 10th through 13th. 24 international artists create massive sand sculptures. Enjoy 4 days and 2 nights with live music, food, a party tent, and more. See SiestaKeyCrystalClassic.com for details.
A little fog on the menu this morning. Look at that.
Absolutely. Now, we have the daylight back that we haven't had on weekdays before after the time change, but we definitely do have reduced visibility. Be careful out on the roadways. John Scalzi says a dense fog advisory remains in effect, so watch out for kids at bus stops and people around the area. Here are some of the top stories we are following for you at 6:54 on a Monday morning.
A major fundraiser on the campus of USF. 900 donors raised more than $300,000.
The annual Mayor's Feed the Hungry program kicks off their 30th food drive today. Over the years, the program has passed out 200 tons of food, along with $2 million worth of food gift cards to hungry families across the Suncoast.
And today, State College of Florida will celebrate veteran and active duty students with several tributes and giveaways that last throughout the week. Veterans Day, of course, is this Saturday.
Taking a final look at First Alert traffic this hour. We do have the building volume both directions on 301. Things look good southbound over the Palmetto Bridges right now, and I-75 is smooth sailing, but again, watch out for reduced visibility. You will need to lower your speeds today. Across Fruitville, Bee Ridge, and Clark roads, we are not seeing any slowdowns, and things are moving well on I-75 and 41 into South County. John?
Yeah, we'll call it a First Alert weather morning as we have a dense fog advisory up until 9 o'clock. A little bit longer along the coastal regions where the fog will linger, perhaps into the late morning. We'll look for a daytime high of about 85 after the fog burns off. That's about 4 or 5 degrees above average.
All right, gather around the TV. This is a great reunion story in Texas. A father and son. Chief Petty Officer Daniel Melton's been in Italy, deployed for 3 years. His son Jace was honorary captain as a senior. Now let's watch this play out. As he comes on the field, he sees his father on the big board on the screen. He thought it was a video. They were honoring him remotely. He couldn't be there until he turned around on the field. Let's watch it together now. 14 turns around and says, "Hey, wait, that's not on the video." 15 says, that's my father walking this way. Love those scenes.
That's great.
I was trying to ad lib and watch it at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Not very successfully, but I wanted to watch the moment of impact there.
Oh, that's wonderful. I hope he had a good game afterwards. Probably wanted to hang out with his dad more than play football at that point.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely. All right, well, stick around. Good Morning America is coming up next, and we're looking at a very foggy start this morning.